Welcome to Future Role Model, a podcast that praises the unconventional and redefines what it means to be a role model. That's my weird host voice. I'm Natasha
You sound
Pearl
like
Hansen.
an NPR host.
I know. I try to do that every once in a while.
Yeah.
Back when I used to be a server, I would sometimes just go up to tables with a fake accent, and then I'd have to like remember
kind of
which
accent?
tables. Usually it would be like something obscure, like
Something I don't even know what
like
it is.
part
Yeah.
British, part
Yeah.
New Zealand.
Yeah.
My accents are always mixed with multiple
Wow.
things. It's never.
And then did you hand out your acting headshots at the end of the
I would never do that. Thank God.
serving session?
By the way, this is Ari Mannis that I have in the studio right now.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here with your toothpaste pants and all.
Yeah, I don't have semen on my pants. It's toothpaste that I just noticed. Actually, I shouldn't even bring it up because no one notices it but me.
Yeah.
But
Where
I'm
is
gonna
it?
wash these pants.
Where is
later.
it exactly?
Right on where
right
my
on the
penis
crotch,
goes,
right where
yeah.
perfect
right
spot.
above my penis.
It probably is. You probably just dropped it straight down.
Are you allowed to say penis on your podcast?
You can say whatever you want on this podcast.
Penis.
I still have penis humor. One of my friends lives in the Caribbean, and this morning she works at a physical therapy office.
In the Caribbean?
In the Caribbean. And she wrote penis all over
She's
the...
probably so happy.
She is. She's the most happy person I know. I go there
Man.
once a year at least.
I wish I could be happy.
Right? What
If I think if I lived in the Caribbean and worked at a physical therapy office, I'd be happy for at least a month.
The office part is something that I can't ever get behind. But if I would have a juice stand...
But it'd be fun because it'd be a mix-up. You know, you haven't.
Yeah.
When was the last time you worked in an office?
Yeah.
Not
I mean,
forever.
I never.
Never.
I've
so I
never
think
done
so.
it.
Even though I agree, working in an office would not be my dream job, it'd be fun for a month just because.
Have you
it'd be
ever
a
worked in
unique-
an office?
I don't.
I don't think so.
I used to work in an IT department
Oh, I
of
could
my
totally
school,
see
of
that
my college,
actually.
and I would go around fixing computers and work in the office,
Yeah,
answering phones.
I could see you being like
sometimes.
tech savvy.
Oh, I'm super tech savvy.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially for our age group. I think there's probably younger kids now who I would be like, "What are you talking about?" But
Yeah.
for our age, oh yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
for
tech
our
savvy.
and I feel like I used to be really good at it because they made us take computer classes back in the day, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if you ever had. How old are you?
I'm 29.
Are you?
Yeah.
Are you
born in the
29?
80s. Yeah. 19. I've turned 30 in a month.
Oh
A little over
shit!
a month.
I thought you were closer to my age. I'm 34.
Yeah, we're the same age.
Same box.
They're both 80s, baby.
Yeah, both 80s babies. But when I was in 6th or 7th grade, they had this computer program. It was like when the computers had like deep heads. I don't know what you call them, but I call them deep heads.
Deep
They were just very
heads.
long.
My computer class that I had to take in elementary school was just typing. They called it computer class, but really
had
we
typing.
just learned how to type.
We had a typing class too. And then the computer class was teaching us how to you had to use coding to draw pictures.
Ooh, that
It was
sounds
like
kind of exciting.
it was like a little truck that would move on the screen, and you would have to, the more complicated the picture, the harder it was to code it.
Wow.
And I was getting pretty good at it, and there just wasn't. It was
And
the
do you
thi-
remember any of it?
No, I wouldn't
Or
have
do
any
you remember
idea.
what kind of coding it was?
It was like, it was.
HTML, PHP, CSS.
I have no
it was
idea.
a long time
I wish
ago.
I knew anything about computers now. I had to set up my fucking Facebook pixel for my website the other day, and I almost
Okay, there you go.
wanted to
I
throw
haven't
m-
done that.
it was probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
I haven't done that, but I also, I feel like Facebook's kind of dying out.
Yeah,
Not really. Everyone still uses it and has it, but as far as for a comedian,
it's annoying.
I feel like Instagram's the only one that people, a little bit of Twitter, but mostly Instagram.
Yeah, Facebook works overseas. Like me and Rachel, when
Oh,
we
yeah,
did
true.
when we did our Europe tour, we
Uh-huh.
got most of our ticket sales on Facebook.
Interesting. See, I've never
And-
done anything like that. I've never done like a solo tour.
I thought you did. Didn't you do Australia?
Yeah, but that was with, both times I've went to Australia, I was opening for people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so much nicer in a way.
It's less
It's less
stressful.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pros and
My
cons.
tours are always pretty much mostly really stressful.
Yeah, if you're touring as a headliner and you're not famous,
It's stressful.
it's stressful because you're not just have to worry about performing, but you have to worry about selling and promoting and
Yep.
marketing.
Yeah.
And so yeah, both times I went, I didn't have to think about that.
That's why I always choose places that I'm like, all right, I know I have like a market here.
Yeah.
Because if I were to just go on a tour wherever in the middle of nowhere, I'd be fucked.
Yeah. Oh, I
In
couldn't
Midwest,
imagine.
I'm cool,
I couldn't
but-
imagine. I promote a free show once every 3 months in my living room. So I only need to get 20 people out,
Yeah.
and it's free. And that is that is hard to me.
Yeah.
So doing that in a place where I don't know anyone, and the tickets cost money, it would just be empty. I
Yeah.
would perform, I would lose money, and it would
Yep.
be a dead show every
Yep.
time. I have no idea how
It's
to do it.
tough. It's definitely tough. But yeah, I mean, where did you grow up?
San Diego.
Oh, okay. I thought you were
Born
a
and
Cali
raised.
boy, but I didn't know it was San Diego.
Yeah, San Diego. I went to, I was born and raised there. Then I went to high school in Roswell, New Mexico. And then I went
Where
to
they
college.
make meth?
Ooh, there was probably people there that make meth. I didn't see any. I didn't witness any of that.
Isn't that what Breaking Bad, isn't that shot in Roswell, New Mexico?
Oh, yeah, I think maybe Albuquerque.
Oh,
was just
maybe
a few
you're
hours
right.
away, but
Yeah, yeah.
same vicinity.
Why do I know the name Roswell? Are there
Roswell
aliens?
is the alien capital of the world.
Aliens. Okay,
Alien
that's
and
what it
UFO
is.
capital.
Aliens, meth, same
of the
shit.
world. Yeah, they're Taco Bell, or not Taco Bell, they're McDonald's and Walmart have alien decor all over it. They really play up that.
So did you
thing.
ever see any aliens?
I didn't see any aliens. I saw a UFO once, though,
Ooh.
for reals.
Really?
Yeah, I was cleaning. I was there. I was going to a military high school, and we had something called stoops, which was basically just your outside of your, basically like a patio, a cement,
Yeah, a stoop.
a stoop. Yeah.
Yeah.
So every week we'd have to clean the stoops because that place in military school you have to keep it very spick and span.
Yeah.
So we were outside sweeping the stoops, and it was evening time. The sun had just gone down, and I saw these orange lights in the air connected to this object or this flying object. And the orange lights were just hovering there, and it was such a big ship. It was bigger than any ship I've ever seen. It must have been a couple miles big
What?
in the air, and we all saw it. It wasn't just me.
Was it
me
far
and-
away?
It was far away. It must have been a few miles away. And we saw it in the air, and we all got each other's attention, looked at it, and then a few minutes later just vanished. Disappeared.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Most people listening probably don't believe it. You don't see something. I don't believe things until I see them with my own eyes.
Yeah. I mean, well,
But
that's
I
kind of
saw it.
just human nature.
But I saw it. It's my truth. And every time I see those people from military school, this was in 10th grade. This was, how long ago was that? Over 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And every time we talk or see each other, we bring that up. Remember that UFO? Everyone's like, yeah, what was that? I don't know.
So what does that make you think about extraterrestrials and stuff? 'Cause
I
it's
don't
a,
know.
It's a
It
world
could,
that
for all
I'm-
I know, it could have been a secret government ship. I have no idea. It could have been an alien. It could have been a United States ship. It could have been Russia. Who knows?
Right, right.
I have no idea.
There's no way to
I just have
know.
no idea what it was.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
I wish I would have seen cool shit like that growing up in the Midwest. Like we got lightning every once in a while. And that was
Oh
like
yeah,
pretty
lightning's
much
fun. Tornado warnings.
yeah,
Those
that
are
was
good.
pretty much all we got. But what was the reason for you being in a military school?
I was kind of a naughty boy. I was a little bit of a rebel, rambunctious. I had a lot of energy. I misbehaved. I didn't like authority figures. I never have liked authority figures, including my parents.
Right.
So, a parent's job when you're a kid is to tell you what to do. And
Of course.
they're your boss. They're the boss of you, but not with me.
Not
No
with
one
you.
was the boss of me. Absolutely no one. You tell me what to do, I'm doing the opposite of
So
that.
in San Diego when you were a kid, you
So when I
got
was
into
a kid,
trouble?
I never actual trouble, but my parents would say, you're not allowed to watch PG-13 movies. I did. You're not allowed to go to your friend's house. I went. You're not, you have to do your homework. I didn't do it. Just anything they told me to do, I would
Do
not
the
do
opposite?
it. Yeah, I would do the opposite.
Did you have siblings?
I had 2 younger brothers.
Okay.
I'm
So
the
you're just
oldest.
setting the example.
Yeah, I was not a role model. I was not what your podcast is titled.
What were they like? Did they do the same thing? Or
No,
did
they learned from my mistakes because I would get constantly punished by my parents. Or at
Yeah.
least they would have tried to. So whether that be locking me in my room, not letting me on the computer, not letting me go to friend's house, sending me to military school, I was constantly
Yeah.
getting punished. it
Military
felt
school
like.
is no fucking joke. Like
was no
Camilla was
joke.
just talking about boarding school, and that's different. But
Oh, I wish I went to boarding school.
yeah, boarding school.
Boarding school is a party,
yeah,
basically.
yeah,
Boarding school is where rich kids go to have fun.
or just get out of the house.
Yeah, or get out of the house.
Yeah.
I said to my mom, "How about boarding school?" And she said, "Absolutely, you're out of your mind. I'm not
Not
paying
saying
for you to go
party.
party."
I'm
But
giving you the ultimate reward.
yeah.
But yeah, military school. Because the only thing I know about it, both my parents were in the military, but
So this was an Army preparatory high school. A lot of
Right.
kids there, their parents were in the a lot of kids were from military families.
Mm-hmm.
Every teacher there was prior military. Every staff member.
Yeah, and
So
I know that they're like, I mean, it's like boot camp every day, right? Essentially.
the first 6 months were like
Pretty
boot camp.
intense?
Yeah, that we had to wake up at 6 in the morning every day, go running, shave our heads once a week,
Oh my God.
shine our shoes, shine our brass uniforms, keep our room and stoop, spick and span, learn how to march, learn commands, learn how to shoot a rifle. It was pretty much it was the hardest thing I ever went through. Now, that being said, I'm sure it wasn't nearly as hard as the actual Army boot camp
Right.
in the real Army, but I was 13 years old.
Yeah.
So in my
you're getting
mind,
your ass
even
kicked.
now, I think it could have been harder.
Yeah.
For considering how old I was.
Mm-hmm.
I cried all the time. Not in public, but when I was in my room alone.
Did you have private rooms or were you in bunkers?
I had one roommate, but we'd still have time,
Yeah.
where he'd be somewhere and I'd be in the room.
Did you have any free time or were they like clocking you every hour of your day what you were doing?
You'd have hours here and there on the weekends. Maybe occasionally you'd get a day off. There was some free time. But yeah, it was a lot of busy. You had to be here at this time, doing this at this time.
Fuck, and what about like
a lot
summers?
of standing around.
Breaks at all or was it like normal
We had
school
a
or
short
you
break.
just-
I would go home for the summer, but our summers were shorter because we had to come back and train the cadets for the next year.
Oh, you had to train them?
So yeah, that's how it works. The first year you go in you're called a rat, recruit at training, but they'd call you rat to demean you.
Yeah.
So the first year I'm a rat, and you had to go during the summer. You'd be doing military training, and then when the school year starts, you still do training, but during the day you go to school, class and stuff. So then the next year you go early, but this time you're not a rat. You're training the rats.
And then you get to be dicks to them.
And you get to be dicks to them, but I wasn't a dick.
What about the year after that?
And the year after that, there's still rats. There's new rats coming in.
So everybody's training the rats.
So everyone's there training or getting ready for something.
That's crazy.
So we had summer break, but our summer break was maybe a month instead of 3 months or something. I forget what it was.
So do you feel like that changed you at all?
It must have, but I can't.
You don't really know.
It's
I
just
guess,
it's just my life. I can't pinpoint on how it changed me, but I'm sure it did.
Yeah.
A lot of structure. I had to move. I didn't have parents, with me or any adults really. It was just at 13 I went off and started my life. I felt like I grew up faster.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm mature, but I'm saying I became.
You're a comic.
I became independent. I had to become independent.
Yeah.
Very early. I had to learn how to do
And
my
like
own laundry.
self-sufficient. Yep.
Yeah, make my bed, clean my little things that anybody is capable of doing. But I think the average person when they're in 9th and 10th grade, their mom comes in and cleans their room and makes their bed and cooks for them and does their laundry. I don't know. Yeah, what age did you have to do your own laundry? Everyone's different. I'm sure there's kids who are like, I've been doing my laundry since I was 9.
I started in high school. I mean, I worked on farms starting when I was 9.
Yeah, so there's kids who their parents maybe were pretty disciplined and made them do things early on.
Like
but
I always worked, but I didn't always have to do house chores. I mean, I had to like keep my room clean. Started doing laundry when I was in high school, but like not all the time.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
more
this was
college
like
that I had to-
literally there was no one there to do anything for you. So it's just little things that you think, yeah, I could do it myself. But when you're a kid, you're like, oh, my mom did that for me.
Right.
Now my mom's not here.
So you stayed in military school the entire high school?
No, I went there for 2 years. And then my junior year of high school, I came back. And
To San Diego?
To San Diego for the summer, for my month-long summer.
Mm-hmm.
And I was working at a tennis and surf camp. I really like tennis and surfing.
Uh-huh.
And I was a counselor at this camp.
Oh, sweet.
So I was 16 at the time. And I kissed my first girl at this camp.
You were a boss.
I was in really good shape from military school. I was probably this weird kid, but unique. And I kissed this girl, and I loved that. I love kissing girls.
Mm-hmm.
And I was gone all the time working at this camp and then kissing that girl after the camp. We were getting drunk and making out.
Yeah.
And my parents were like, wow, you've really behaved this summer. You really turned it around. Really, I just wasn't there.
Right,
I wasn't behaved.
Yeah.
And they said, if you want to go back to regular high school, or not back, but if you want to leave military school and go, we'll allow that. We'll allow you to come back.
And did you have to think about it, or were you like, fuck yeah?
Because I actually kind of learned to like military school, and you get ranks there. They kind of there's things that keep you in it. I think the same thing happens in the real
It's a
military.
military, yeah. Yep.
Where you go in as a private in the real military and you leave as a corporal, and then you go, man, if I re-enlisted, I'd get this benefit, this perk, I could get to this rank, and there's little tricks they do.
Yeah, a friend of mine is like a higher, I don't remember the rankings, but he's like one of the highest, and now him and his wife live in
Yeah, you
Hawaii.
get retired. Yeah, military has amazing retirement benefits.
They're both super happy.
And things like that. So there was these things that the school did that were similar to that. So I was actually planning on going back, but kissed that girl. I was super into her. I was like, no, I'm gonna move. I'm gonna stay here. Yeah, it was. I was like, I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna date this girl. Very stupid in retrospect. I mean, I think had a boyfriend, which is obviously I'm 16. It's not first kiss. It's not gonna lead to anything. So I stayed, and then 2 weeks into 2 weeks after that, I think she ended things between us.
Fuck.
And now I'm just at public school, a weirdo, because I still was like in this. I still was kind of in this military kid. I was like shaved head and all locked up because you're not allowed to speak out of turn. You just have to be really looking straight ahead at all times. There's all these weird,
like
it's
overly
very strict.
polite.
It's overly polite. You have to keep your chest touching the table when you're at school and when you're at dinner. There's all these crazy rules that I hadn't broken free from yet.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of this weird.
You're like a robot.
Yeah, I was like this weird robot kid at this public school. So didn't make many friends. I was also transferred there. I was junior year. Everyone had their own friends. So I it wasn't terrible, but I was a weirdo.
It wasn't what you expected.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Well, San Diego's big, right?
Shy.
There's like how many high schools? There's got to be
I
like
don't
a
even
bunch
know
of
how
high
many
schools there.
Hundreds, bro. I don't even know.
Yeah, I'm sure. You could have just moved to a new one.
Yeah, my high school is very big. I think I had the biggest. I went to Torrey Pines High School where I graduated from, and I think I had the biggest graduating class in their history, which was over 1,000 kids.
Fuck. Yeah, it's big.
So it was a big school. And yeah, it was nice. I mean, Del Mar, where I grew up, it's near the beach. It's beautiful.
That's where the racetrack is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right near the racetrack.
I've been there. It's super nice.
It's a beautiful area.
So
I was lucky.
When you were coming out of school, did you have plans to go to college, or what were you thinking?
I hated school. I barely graduated. Ever since I was a little kid, I refused to do homework. I just hated. I always thought, what's the point of all this? What's the point of learning math?
Yeah.
When am I going to use this math?
Which is mostly true.
In real life, which is mostly true, yeah, minus the basics, depending on what you want to do with your life.
Right.
So I always felt, this is stupid. Why do I need to know this? And my parents were really pressuring me into do it. And after high school, it was the same thing. I never wanted to go to college. I wanted to move to LA, actually, and pursue entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
Film and comedy and acting. So I told my parents, hey, I want to go to Santa Monica City College and do that. And they said, you could do that. You're an adult. You're almost 18.
You got to pay
You're
your
welcome
own
to
shit.
do that, but we're not going to help you do that.
Fuck.
So I had no money.
Yeah.
They said, or you could go to college and we'll pay for you to go to college, because they really wanted me to go to college.
Where do they have a place in mind?
Well, I barely graduated high school, so any college I could get
that would
into,
take you.
that would take me. So, long story short, I wasn't ready to be an adult yet.
Yeah.
So I went to college. I caved to their wishes,
Mm-hmm.
and I went to college. I went to 4 years of college, and I graduated.
What did you go for?
I went for film. I went to
so you still
UC
went
Santa
and did the
Cruz.
same thing?
Yeah, but I mean, their film program's horrible. I learned absolutely nothing. There's no benefit to doing that. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't all bad. College was nice. I met some nice people. I smoked a lot of weed. I kissed some more girls. Did all the things that people like doing.
Yeah.
It was fun, but to this day, I will say it was just a 4-year kind of little vacation.
Yeah.
I don't think I
mean,
took
that's kind
anything
of what college
about
is for all of us.
Yeah, I don't think I took any value out of college, not for my career, not for my brain.
I don't really remember college at all. I went for 2 years.
Oh, you left.
I went for 2 years and I left to pursue comedy.
Yeah, that's what I think.
And I'm glad my mom, whenever she's mad at me, will hold it over my head because they helped me. I had my own loans. I had some scholarships, and then they helped me. It was half and half.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, so whenever she's pissed at me, she'll still hold her. We paid for 2 years of college. And I'm like, well, at least I quit before wasting 2 more years of your money.
Yeah.
But
Well, they've never, me and my parents have our differences, but they've never held them paying for college over my
which
head.
is good. That's
Yeah.
very good.
But they're rich. My parents are rich.
Oh, they are?
Yeah. That's nothing to them.
What do
That's-
they do?
My dad's an emergency room doctor. My mom's a lawyer.
Okay, those are really good jobs.
Yeah, they don't give me I'm lucky that they never gave me money or spoiled me, minus paying for college.
Yeah.
But I wish they did.
Yeah.
I want their money.
I know. I think about that too. I'm like, I've joked about this before.
I would
but
love
like,
to do nothing and just live off of my parents.
right?
Yeah.
I have hustled so fucking hard in LA because I didn't have a choice.
Every time I have to work a shitty job, I call them. I go, why are you making me work the job? Just give me some of your money. You have so much of it. Just give me some. Why are you making me work this 9-to-5 job? But they don't give
It's
it to
good.
me.
I mean, I understand
Builds
it in
character.
principle. I mean, it's good. Yeah. I mean, I probably wouldn't have so much hustle in me, but sometimes it just gets tiring because you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to wonder where money's coming from all the time. I would love to win the lottery. Like I would.
If I won the
I would love to
lottery,
retire.
I would quit comedy for sure.
Would you?
Yeah.
I would just do it the way I wanted. I would just go on my tours all over the world and like
I wouldn't
do
be funny
shows.
anymore.
You just lose your
I'd
personality.
be too happy. I'd just do whatever I want all day.
Right?
I would just go to Hawaii and chill on the beach
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
travel.
You wouldn't need it. Yeah.
I'd travel and have sex with high-end escorts
Yeah,
all the
that's
time.
a great choice.
I would eat whatever I wanted. I'd get really fat. It doesn't
Yep.
even matter.
It doesn't matter at that point.
Life would be sweet.
See, this is why some people have to work. Otherwise, if you were just given money, you would just be a pile of shit.
Oh, I would die at age 40, and I'd be happy about it.
So in film school, were you in school with the intention of being in front of the camera, or were you wanting to direct or
I think
edit?
I always wanted to be in front of the camera, but I always had this logical side of me that goes, that's an unrealistic goal. You're not good looking enough. You're not tall enough, whatever. You're not talented enough, whatever it is. So I kind of got into film thinking, yeah, I'm funny and I'd like to be in front of the camera, but I should have this film background because that's a more realistic job. Like I'll
Right.
pursue entertainment in front of the camera on the side, but I'll get a job. Maybe I'll work on being a director or an editor or something.
Producer, yeah.
Something that still very competitive and hard job to accomplish, but
But there's
something
more of
that's
it.
there's a little bit less competitive, a little bit more
Secure.
but also, you could look at someone's body of work and go, they're amazing, whereas kind of acting and stand-up is more opinion-based and subjective on someone's talent.
Yeah.
So you may think you're the funniest comedian in the world, but you suck. You
Yeah.
could look at someone's film and go, that's good. It's easier to go, that guy's a great filmmaker or not, I think, a little bit.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Well, so what ended up getting you into the comedy world? How did that begin?
So I always loved stand-up comedy. I always loved comedy and laughing, and I was a comedy nerd and watched, had all my favorite comedians. I loved watching Chris Rock when I was a kid and all the Comedy Central Presents specials and what was it, Premium Blend. I used to watch all the time. Just anything stand-up I could get my hands on. This was pre-internet, so it wasn't like able to find. It was all on Comedy Central basically and HBO.
Mm-hmm.
But I always loved it. And then, but I never knew. I remember driving by the La Jolla Comedy Store in San Diego when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But I always thought it was, I didn't even know what that place was because you had to be an adult to go there. I thought maybe they sold whoopee cushions or something. Like I didn't know. I just didn't know how anything worked. They didn't have the internet where you could search it or podcast.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, stand-up's cool, but how do you do a stand-up? I have no fucking idea.
Yeah, there was no rule book.
Right. So I was in college. I had just gone through a breakup. So I was really depressed. This was the first big breakup of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Loved this girl. Just went through this crazy phase where I was trying to get her back and just didn't work. And I was just so depressed. I was trying everything, I went to the gym, trying to get in shape. I was going out, and I saw this stand-up comedy competition flyer that was posted around school. It was a TBS stand-up
shit.
competition.
Nice.
And I was like, oh, I've always kind of wanted to try that. Never really knew how to
This
try
was
it.
still in college, or was
Yeah,
right?
this is my junior year in college. So or senior, I forget which year. So I was 21 or 22.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that flyer, and I was like, here, all right, let's give it a shot. What do you have to lose? I was already depressed and
Right.
didn't really know what I was doing. So I went and performed in this auditorium on campus. Didn't tell anyone I knew that I was doing it because I thought it was going to be horrible because I've never done it before.
Yeah.
And it probably was horrible, but I did fine.
Mm-hmm.
It was a big auditorium, hundreds of college students, so like my age group. It was probably a very easy audience, but
Yeah.
but I did fine. I moved on to the next round of the
How much time
competition.
did you do?
I think 3 or 5 minutes.
Do you remember any of the material?
I remember. So I do I've still sometimes if I have to do long sets, we'll do this story, and I got to animate it. Was at one point one of my best minutes of comedy, but it was at the time I had also gotten in trouble for cutting down this tree, where I chopped down this oak tree on campus,
Mm-hmm.
and it was in Santa Cruz. They love trees there. I don't know if you've ever been there.
Uh-uh.
If you've never, it's beautiful. You should go with
Yeah,
your.
I've heard.
You're engaged, right?
Mm-hmm.
You should go there for your honeymoon. No, not your honeymoon. You should go out of the country for your honeymoon. You should go there for a weekend getaway. It's
So
like
how far is Santa Cruz? It's
probably 6 or 7 hours from here.
Yeah.
Of a drive. It's beautiful though. It's the beach on one side and then the redwood forest on the other.
Oh, fuck.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
it
that's
really
awesome.
is. So it's the most beautiful place ever. And it's also a hippie town.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone there it's more liberal than LA. Everyone there gets offended, super PC. I remember they had the military recruiters come to the job fair on campus and people were protesting that.
What?
Yeah, there's a big percentage of girls that don't shave their armpits or legs.
Yeah,
There's
that's kind of like how it is in
people
parts
who
of
sleep in trees to stop them from
San
getting cut
Fran's
down.
kind of like that.
Yeah,
too.
it's kind of
Berkeley
it's like
kinda-
Berkeley, but even more.
Wow.
So Berkeley is smart. The kids had smarter kids than Santa Cruz. So Santa Cruz has hippier version of Berkeley.
Fuck. I'm not a
So-
fan of Berkeley.
Yeah, so this is that. But Santa Cruz is beautiful. It's great. But anyway, I cut down this tree because it was blocking my view, and people freaked out.
I'm sure.
I had to go to court. I had to get a lawyer.
How big of a tree was it? Was it?
30 feet tall. It was a decent sized oak tree, but the place is covered in trees. There's literally thousands of trees
Yeah,
everywhere.
yeah.
And people, they wrote an article in the newspaper. So anyway, I talked about that in my stand-up. And it was it's changed. I doubt I told the story. I'm sure I've changed it a lot, but that was the first thing I talked about.
And people responded well to that
Because
they,
everyone knew about it.
called yourself out on it, kind of.
I called myself out, and everyone was like, people had heard about it. It was one of those things that not everyone saw it or not everyone knew who I was, but were like, oh, the tree guy, because it was in the paper and it was in.
Yeah.
It was
So and they liked you. They liked
it.
They liked it.
Yeah. So I did good. I moved on to the next round. The second round was performing at a sold-out Purple Onion in San Francisco. I don't know if you've heard of that venue.
Yeah.
It used to. Now I think might be a Purple Onion now, but this was at the time one of the dopest spots in San Francisco.
I
They
heard
closed
that.
down.
I
The
never
place where I
played there,
was,
I don't
yeah,
think.
it closed down shortly after this competition, I think.
Yeah.
But it was, again, this sold-out Purple Onion in front of my peers. I went up. I had to do 3 minutes, or 3 or 5 minutes. I did great, honestly. Looking back, I had a great set, and even though it was my second time doing stand-up. And
That's awesome.
I didn't move on to the next round, though, so it wasn't good enough. Someone had a better set.
Mm-hmm.
But it hooked me. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I did good enough to where it gave me confidence in myself, where I'm like, okay, I know I have the capability of doing good, of getting laughs, because I did good, and it was fun. I was like, this is what I want to do.
So, like in
was
military
the moment.
school, did you used to joke around with people a lot? Did you have that in you, or do you feel like it kind of just stored up in you for a while?
I was class clown a lot, not in military school, because
But
there
after?
you
Get
everyone's
shut-
quiet.
Yeah.
There's not really much class clowning in military school.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
But
that
in
there
high
is.
school and elementary school and middle school, I remember I made several teachers cry. I was just always kind of
fucking off.
yeah, because I didn't care about school.
Yeah.
So a teacher would be like, "I'm gonna fail you," and I'd be like, "Fucking do it," I don't care.
Yeah.
So it would always disrupt the class
Crazy.
and try and get laughs.
Yeah. So was it kind of a surprise to you when you actually tried stand up and you were like, damn? Because
So I guess I guess it wasn't a surprise because I loved comedy. I loved making people laugh. I was always a goof. So it kind of I'm probably less funny now than I was then. I've become more reserved and more of a boring guy now. I think now I've obsessed myself with so much comedy that when I'm not doing comedy,
The last thing you want to do.
I'm kind of boring now.
Yeah, I feel like that in some ways too.
I don't even like comedy anymore.
You know,
I don't like watching stand up. I don't like comedy movies.
yeah.
I mean, occasionally I'll see something and I'll be like, that was really funny or that was good. But
Yeah.
when I go see a movie now, I like sci-fi, I like action, I like drama.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like going to watch comedy anymore.
I had a phase like that for a while. It was a couple years ago where I was like, why am I even doing this? And I mean, I love doing but I like doing it on my own terms. I think that's why.
Doing it, I like. I don't like watching it.
Right, other people do.
I work at the Comedy Store as a door guy part-time, and it's the best comedians in the whole wide world that are there. Everyone you've ever wanted to see rolls through there. It could be Dave Chappelle on stage. I'm walking out and hanging out in the back hallway. I'm not watching Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Like, I am burnt out on comedy.
Yeah. No, I totally get it.
I was in Vegas yesterday. No, the day before yesterday, Saturday.
Yeah.
I was in Vegas Saturday, and I went and saw Carrot Top. I've always wanted to just see what that was.
Yeah.
And I went, and he was incredible. He's a joke machine. It was just joke, joke, joke. Even if you don't like his jokes, you're gonna like some of them because he's
so fast.
in 2 minutes you're gonna hear 6 jokes or whatever.
Yeah.
He spews out jokes.
That's crazy.
But after 20 minutes, I was like, okay, I've seen it, and I walked out and I left.
Oh, so you didn't even stay for the whole thing?
No, I didn't stay for the whole thing.
I always wondered because Carrot Top, like, he really is killing it.
Oh, he has $75 million
He's
from comedy.
He's killing it.
He's been there 13 years. There's no way he doesn't put on a good show.
Well,
and I knew that.
The Vegas market is so interesting because I'm about to start a show in Vegas.
Really, like a reoccurring one?
A weekly show.
Whoa, that's cool. Where at?
It's at I reached out to this hotel because, like I said, I do all my own deals and stuff. So it's a hotel called the Artisan.
Okay.
It's off the Strip, and they have
I think I've
no
heard of
casino, so they have a need for consistent entertainment. And I really hit it off with the GM owner of the place.
Over the phone?
Yeah, over the email. And then I went to Vegas and met with him in person, and we were like instant. So we put it all together, and it's launching mid-September.
That's exciting.
And I'm like, I'll probably go out once a month, maybe twice a month to do a
got
spot.
it. So you'll book it mostly. You're gonna book
I'm gonna run it, but yeah, but I love the Vegas market because it's just people. There's so many people there just want to be entertained, and so much. Obviously,
so
this
much competition.
won't be anything of that level, but he said he was like, it'll be easy to sell tickets just because if something else is full, people will fucking come.
It seems a little bit like that. Yeah, there's so many shows in Vegas and so much like. I hate Vegas, but I've been there 3 times this year already, and every time I'm there, there's like 20 comedians I know that are also there performing, and I don't even realize I'm like, oh shit, there's always comics.
Yeah, we're like right here. We're like sister cities almost. It's pretty easy to just pop over. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, is that where you started consistently doing stand up after that first stint?
So I maybe did it once every couple of months. My last year of college. And I thought that was doing I just didn't know how comedy works. So I was like, I would go do an open mic every 2 months, and I'd be like, yeah, I'm a comedian. Like, I'm doing it. Yeah. And I would write new stuff every time.
Which is pretty impressive.
Which is impressive, but I literally didn't know that people repeated jokes. I just was so naive and stupid. And I did good the first couple of times, so I'm like, this is easy. I'm so good at stand-up. I'm doing it every 2 months. And then I remember I bombed really hard.
Well, where was it? And what
in Santa Cruz. It was my 3rd or 4th time doing it. I had all this confidence because I had done 3 times with new stuff every time, and I'd done good. So I was like, stand-up's easy. This is my new 5 minutes. It's gonna do great. It was a good show too. It wasn't like a tough, dead crowd. It was a good crowd. Yeah. And I went up and I did my 5, and it was crickets the whole time. And I got off and I'm like, oh, that was a wake up. Oh, stand-up's hard. And after that, then the next set I just wanted to do good. So then I went through all my other sets and got my favorite stuff and put together
Like a real set.
Or I mean, it was still my 5th time doing stand-up,
Yeah.
but real for then.
Like a thought-out set.
Yeah, a thought-out set. And then did good, and then I moved. But again, I was so stupid after doing it for 5 times. I said, okay, I'm ready. I'm moving to LA.
Fuck.
Yeah, right
That's
after I graduated.
awesome.
So I did it maybe a handful of times. I told the one guy there who runs the comedy scene in Santa Cruz, his name's DNA. And I said, hey, I'm moving to LA. And he's like, what? You've done it 5 times? I'm like, yeah, I'm ready. And he's like, okay.
Good luck.
Good luck. And then I moved to LA and been doing it ever since.
So how did that move go for you? Like what did you do to be able to find a place here, and like how did you afford?
So I didn't have any money, but I had one aunt, my dad's sister, who lived in the Hollywood area.
Mm-hmm.
And I hit her up. I said, hey, her name's Lisa. She's like a sweet old lady.
Yeah.
And I said, it's my dad's older sister. I said, hey, I'm just graduated college. I'm moving to Los Angeles to pursue film and comedy because I had the film degree too.
Yep.
And I was wondering if I could stay with you just while I get situated. And she goes, yeah, sure. And I think in my young, dumb head, I thought it was going to be, a few weeks while I look for a place and a job, and I'll find a job, and then I'll find a place. And she probably thought the same thing because she doesn't know anything about the entertainment business or anything, even though she lives here. But she said, okay. And so I lived with my aunt, and then I ended up staying with her for probably 6-7 months.
Yep. That's
for
usually
free.
how it goes.
Yeah. And then I finally...
Did you have a job in that time?
So when I first moved here, I was working 2 unpaid internships.
Cool.
One for Warner Brother Records, editing music videos. And it was horrible because...
They overworked you?
Well, they did work hard. I worked a lot of hours, but it wasn't even that. Everyone there was really nice.
Mm-hmm.
But just the job was horrible because I was editing music. Most of the music, actually all the music I didn't even like. It was like Waka Flocka Flame and pop bands. And I was editing their music videos, so I'd have to hear them over and over. So I probably listened to this one Waka Flocka Flame song 1,000 times, and I never liked the song. So then by the end of it, I despised the song.
Yep.
And I was just sitting in front of the computer all day. It was horrible. And then the other internship I got ended up being great for me. It was at LaughStub. I don't know if you've heard of LaughStub. They do websites for comedy clubs.
Yep.
And now they're kind of dying out because they got bought out a few times. But when
they do tickets too,
years,
right? Ticketing?
They do ticketing and websites. So when I moved here 8 years ago, it was forefronted by the guy who started Comedy Juice.
Yep.
Went and started LaughStub. His name was Scott Richardson, I think.
That was before Glebe came into it, right?
Him and Beck Glebe started Comedy Juice,
Yeah.
but Scott started LaughStub.
Oh, gotcha.
So Scott started this company LaughStub, and because they were connected through Juice, they ended up making the website and ticketing for the Hollywood Improv, the Comedy Stores, the Ice House, that might be in LA, but a bunch throughout the country too. A bunch of comedy clubs. I think Laugh Factory was not with them, and neither was Flappers. Those were the only 2. And Haha wasn't with them.
Right.
But I was interning for this company, and then the lady who ran LaughStub, the comedy club relationship, her name was Dee Burdett.
Yeah, I know Dee.
I
remember Dee.
And so, like, early on into that internship, she used to be the manager of the Improv before she worked at LaughStub. So she knows everyone in comedy, or knew at the time, still does. Early on, we connected. I remember one of the first days in the office, she gave me edibles, and then I was just high out of my mind at this job.
Instant friends.
Yeah, we were instant friends. She ended up getting me in at the Ice House and the Improv. She's like, "Oh, you do comedy? Let me introduce you to these people." And then she introduced me to the owner of the Ice House, Bob, and then he gave me a job and gave me spots. And then the Improv, same thing.
Yep.
And then she ended up booking the John Lovitz Comedy Club.
Oh, yeah.
And
that was the first place I performed at in LA.
Oh, there you go. And so she would hook me up with spots there all the time and a job there. And then now she books, I ended up referring her to a job at the Ice House, and now she books the Ice House. Mm-hmm. So it ended up being great for me and ended up getting me not a lot of money, but maybe $700 a month from comedy stuff.
Yeah.
And then that was...
Which is, I mean, when you're that early in,
yeah, I'm 22,
like
and I'm 6 months into comedy.
Yep.
And I'm barely starting, and I was doing, in my mind, I was killing it. And so I was making $700 a month. So then I got a studio apartment that was $900 a month, and just worked part-time to get the other few $100 a month.
Yeah.
So now I'm like studio apartment, doing comedy full-time. I moved out of my aunt's house, and then kind of just kept going from there.
What did your parents think of you getting into stand-up?
They still to this day say, you can always get a job and do stand-up on the side.
Which is true, but I mean...
Yeah, but not really.
No, not
Name
really.
one successful comedian that did stand-up on the side.
I know Eliza did it for a while, right? She had a day job.
No, you could have a day job, but but still they would always comedy was their full-time focus.
I've never been able to do it successfully either.
I've met people who go, "Oh yeah, I do stand-up once a month or they do bringer shows."
Yeah.
And they kind of do it as a hobby, but I've never met a comedian who is successful doing comedy as a headliner who said, "Oh yeah, I kind of just did it here and there, and then I became a headliner."
Your hustle becomes different when you have no other way to make money.
Yeah, it's different. So they don't get it.
Yeah.
They don't get it. But yeah, that's...
What do your siblings do?
My younger brother, I have two younger brothers. One of them's 25. He lives right next door to me in my building.
Sweet.
And he works at Netflix in the stand-up comedy department at Netflix. So he kind of moved here I motivated him to move here.
That's cool.
Yeah, he was working for the Anaheim Angels, and he didn't like it. And I said, why don't you just come here and give it a shot, and if you don't like it, you could always move back home or do anything you want. So he's like, okay. So he moved here. He worked at CAA. He worked at a management company.
Oh, wait. I know your brother.
Yeah, you met him.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't...
You met him through Joe Glasgow.
Yep. I didn't realize that I knew your brother. I didn't put it together.
Yeah, that's my younger brother.
Yep.
And now he works. He's very cool. He's like a nicer, sweeter version of me.
Yeah.
Is what people say.
Yeah, I can totally see that.
He's like me, but smiles more.
Well, do you guys feel like you guys could be like a powerhouse team together at all?
I mean, I think both of us are doing okay.
Yeah.
We're doing good, but neither of us have any really power. He's an assistant at Netflix. I'm an opener. I'm a featured act.
But yeah.
So
but
it's
you're fucking funny though.
Who knows? Thanks. So who knows? Maybe I think that would be awesome.
Yeah.
If one day that we could.
Be
wheeling and dealing.
That'd
Hollywood
be so cool.
deals. That's the
you just
dream.
got to start your own Entourage situation and make him your.
I think that's the dream. I mean, people watch Entourage, and they view that as Hollywood, but that's the one lucky person who.
Oh yeah.
Like that's not a real interpretation.
I know. I've thought about that too.
Not the average Hollywood person.
One of my best friends for like 25 years. We grew up together. She worked at Amazon for the last like 10 or so years, and she was like. Basically, she worked in every different department. She just killed it. And then she's like kind of pseudo-retired for a while.
Must be nice.
And I was like, come work in Hollywood. I'll fire all my reps and you can be because she's such a hustler and she knows that she could just do it. I know she could. And I was like, we could start our own Entourage.
You know what you do realize, not that it's quite that easy, but if you have people that are out in Hollywood that are working hard and pursuing it behind the scenes and they have your back, it does go a long way.
Yeah.
If you have two people out there where any opportunity comes up, they go, oh, you gotta look at Natasha, she's hilarious.
Yeah.
You gotta look at Ari, he's the man. It does it helps
tremendously.
It helps tremendously, and it helps you feel like you have a support system. So I mean, I definitely have had the thought where my old childhood friend, I've said, you should move to LA. I could use your help,
Yeah.
Or my other brother, my youngest brother, he's 19, so he's a sophomore in college, but he goes to the University of Denver.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love for him to move here after and
just
build a whole team of people.
The Mannis team.
The Mannis team. But no, I mean, yeah, people look at my life sometimes because of social media and they go, you're killing it, you're doing comedy, but really I don't realize I Airbnb my apartment when I leave town.
That's the thing.
I rent out my car on Turo when I leave town. Like I'm still nickel and diamond things to get by. It's not featuring on the road. Maybe pays $200 a show average.
Yeah.
So
that's why I do all my own ticket sales because with Madison shooting my special in Madison, I sold tickets because it was a live taping and there was food included. We're starting to pitch. We already have one offer.
Oh, got it. So you're gonna pitch it to you.
It's gonna. It's
you don't know when it's coming
finished.
out yet.
It's almost finished being edited. It looks really great. But we have one offer on the table, and we want to get some play.
Well, that means it's coming out no matter what, though.
Yeah, it's definitely coming out no matter what. We're aiming for like mid-fall, late fall.
Okay, so 2020.
2019.
2019.
Yeah.
Okay, so this year.
It'll be this year.
Sweet.
So, because it'll be
and
ready
how long
to go.
Is it?
It'll be a little bit over an hour.
Over an hour? That's awesome.
I recorded an hour, but I cut a couple things out that are, were more just like.
Yeah, you edited it down.
Because I just had one take, so I had to like really just cushion the audience myself a little bit. And since it was my wedding day, I want to only keep things in that pertain to that situation.
Wait, you shot your special on your wedding day?
Yeah.
So you got married and then did the show?
No, I didn't get married.
Oh, you did. Oh, this was a different, not your current fiance?
No,
I'm confused.
Yeah, it is. It is confusing. So me and my fiance, right after we got engaged, we started like having falling outs.
Oh, okay.
For the first time in our relationship.
Got it. So you had a wedding date and you postponed it.
We had a wedding date once last year, and we postponed that one, and I went to JFL that weekend. And then we rescheduled it for June of this year, and we had been just at each other's throats leading up to it. And
so you're like, let's wait.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to get married and pretend in front of a bunch of people that things are wonderful. We have been together for a really long time, so like we just hit our rough patch now. You know, it would have happened if we had gotten married like 4 years ago.
So do you have a new wedding date?
No, I don't want to set anything in stone.
Got it. So you guys.
I want to just elope.
So like, all the men out here listening to your podcast, you still got a chance.
It still is a chance.
Paul, you still got a chance, dude.
And so, so I still had the venue in Madison, and I was like, I couldn't get out of the contract. And I was like, I need to do something cool at this venue. Oh, thank God I have a skill that I can use.
Oh, so not only did you do this on the day you're supposed to get married, this was where you're supposed to have the wedding?
Yeah, it was in my wedding venue. And I had pretty much everybody that would have been my audience. I knew the entire audience. Like,
so it was the people who were supposed to go to the wedding?
Yeah, it was, And some other people, too, from my high school, like supporters and fans and whatever.
Yeah.
But
Hilarious.
It was like a multifaceted
Are people wearing
evening.
Wedding outfits? That'd be kind of funny.
I told them to dress like they were going to a wedding, and I said, instead of bringing a gift, you're going to buy tickets to support this. And they did, and it sold out, and I paid for half my special with it.
Wow. And then did you wear a wedding gown?
I had one on in the beginning, and then I switched into a white jumpsuit to actually perform in, but you'll see it. Yeah, it's cool.
That's unique.
Yeah, it's super different. And so I don't know if Netflix is one of the places we would pitch to. It's too hard. There's too much on Netflix. I feel like.
I think Netflix would be the place to go, but it seems like they only fuck with famous people.
It's only famous people, or then it's like nobodies, like
I
they
don't
stand up around the world.
Oh yeah, around the world. But but even those nobodies aren't even nobodies. Those are the biggest comedians in those countries. We just don't know them.
We just don't know them. Yeah. But it would be too hard. I mean, we have some connects over there, but I don't think that's the place for it.
Right. That would be the
me.
stretch.
That'd be me up against like Jeselnik and Winnie Cummings and shit. Like I don't think I'm in the place to compete with that.
Yeah, but there's still all the other places.
But there's so many other platforms. So we just want to get some ability to barter.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah. So we're hoping for the best, but. You recently had that whole thing with Laugh Factory, right? Didn't they take down your video?
Yeah. I've had 2 videos get taken down in the last month.
Your videos are my favorite, though.
I got
so upsetting.
One joke I do about teachers not being able to getting paid more than they do.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a controversial subject. So that, obviously when I do that joke, I know that not everyone's going to like it.
Yeah.
But it does very well.
But it's so funny because the twist in it is so good.
Yeah, and it's satirical. The joke, like, I don't even really feel that way. It's that teachers shouldn't be paid more. It's a joke. The key word there is joke. But anyway, people on the internet take things very literally. People on Instagram are very young. The people who follow the Laugh Factory page, it's all kids who are very progressive. And get offended.
Yeah.
So they posted that joke. I got a lot of supporters from it, too. I got a few thousand followers from it and people messaging saying they loved it, but I got a lot, predominantly negative comments on the video. Calling me a rapist and a pedophile.
Oh,
and
God.
That I hate teachers and you don't know what teachers have to go through and blah. First off, I had teachers my whole life. I know what teachers have to go through.
Yeah.
And second off, everyone knows what teachers have to go through. And second off, it's a joke.
We
but anyway,
do it, yeah. We put them through the...
So I guess a lot of people were offended by it and were reporting it. And Instagram, Laugh Factory didn't take it down. They don't care. In fact, they like all the negative. To them, bad press is good press.
Yeah.
They just like press or attention. Instagram took it down because it got reported so many times. I think it's just an automated.
Yeah, it's
we're taking that down.
It's so annoying.
So they took it down, and then I posted on my Instagram recently this fan mail video that I made actually a few years ago, but I had never posted on Instagram, and that got taken down too. It's like webcam models are masturbating while saying I'm their favorite comedian. They'd be like, "Oh, Ari, you're my favorite comedian." It's this goofy fan mail video, and I blur it out, so there's no nudity or anything in it.
Yeah.
But that got taken down.
Shit.
So it's funny. I don't think of myself as an edgy comedian, but I guess I am. People enough.
No, but I love it though. I mean, I feel like I watched that clip of the teacher joke like so many times. I made my fiance watch it. I was like, "Fuck, Ari's so funny." And it's just a bummer that people, because recently I had, it was when I was prepping for my special, you know how you try to just get as many spots as you can in LA?
Yeah.
It's not like I'm famous or getting put on late nights.
Right, and you have to do an hour.
Nobody's
in LA, you can't really
get
do an
those
hour.
spots. Yeah, so I was just hustling to try to get like 10-minute spots like leading up to it to work out. You know, when you're shooting something like that, you're doing a lot of stuff you can't do in other shows because it's like geared towards that space.
Yeah.
So I had one final show in LA, and I was going to do a chunk of new material that I had written just for this, and I said the word Down syndrome because
sometimes that's all you need. If it's a sensitive crowd, a word could set them off.
I was saying what my doctor was listing to me as potential defects or issues I could go through if I froze my eggs. So I was just giving a list of things.
It increased. So if you freeze your eggs to have a baby,
she was just giving me stats.
It can increase
she was
the
giving
percentage
me stats.
of having Down syndrome. Yeah.
And so I was saying what stats she gave me. It was like her injecting fear into me to try to get me to spend this kind of money.
Yeah.
On a procedure that I don't want to do.
Right.
And so it was basically more of like a woman's rights joke.
Mm-hmm.
But I said the word Down syndrome left my mouth, and this guy just started booing me. And we had a whole back and forth, and I kind of yelled at him on stage. I was like, "This is just you're the problem with everything. You're the fucking problem,
you little bitch."
And I still I have the clip, and I still want to post it because our back and forth is pretty.
You should.
I really want to, and I was like,
"It's crazy, dude." Yeah, there's trigger words for sure. Sometimes someone will get upset, and then I'll talk to them about it, and then at the end of it, they go, "Oh yeah, I guess I didn't listen to the joke. I knew what you were talking about.
Yeah.
And I don't think you should talk about that." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, and then he tried to backtrack and apologize while I was still on stage, and then he reached out to me on Instagram and sent me like 5 giant paragraphs.
Oh, you won that.
Yeah, and he was trying to explain, and I was tempted to write him something back that was nice and thought out.
Yeah, but who cares?
And I stopped. I was like, fuck that guy.
The crazy thing too is I've gotten negative. I've gotten people who got offended at me at open mic. Like comedians have gotten upset at me.
This guy was an aspiring comedian.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He was there supporting.
Like, you want to tell jokes and you're getting offended at a joke.
Like
that I'm
fuck you.
It's mind blowing.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. So,
but I think I've come to the conclusion that I've just accepted not everyone's gonna like me.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I find enough people that like me
thing.
To where I could keep doing it. But
well, you look at somebody like Jesselnick, and he's one of my favorites. I love him as a person, and he's got an army of people that just expect him to be.
Yeah, I mean, he's
dark.
built it where he could say anything he wants.
And Tosh used to be like that, too. It's like, if you go to see somebody like that.
Tosh was one of my favorites. Louis C.K. was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Is one of my favorites. Burr. I like people that push
Don't
it to the
give
limit.
a
Don't give a fucking push to the limit.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's tough as a woman, but, like, I still respect Louis C.K. as an artist. I can separate.
I have a pro Louis C.K. joke.
I can separate the shitty things he's done from his artistry.
I'll say it right now. I don't care. I think it got blown way out of proportion. Is what he did okay? Maybe not, but I think it got way overblown. I don't think he did anything too crazy.
I think it's...
He didn't even touch a girl.
You know...
He jerked off in front of a girl that didn't want him to, even though he asked. It's like, yeah, that's fucked up, but you're an adult. You can handle a cock in your face.
When I heard that story, too, for the first time, I wasn't surprised that that's a thing, because a guy in Chicago asked me to film him jacking off.
That's so weird.
Yeah, there was a guy that, I had this kind of neighborhood
Some weird fetish thing?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's a guy that was a regular at one of the bars I was a regular at, and so we kind of had a bunch of regular buddies. And he lived in my neighborhood, and so I'd known him for months, and he was super fun and normal and whatever. Lived in a high-rise down the street, and so one day he's like, oh, we're all going to go hit the bars, come meet me at my apartment and have a beer. And I was like, sounds great. I'll have a pre-beer with you.
Yeah.
Came, sit, we talked for a while. I had a Heineken. We were about to leave, and he comes in the room, and he goes, could you film me really quick masturbating? It was with a BlackBerry. And I was like, what?
Film with the BlackBerry?
Yeah, he wanted me to film
very low quality.
Yeah, low quality.
Not
really
good
pixelated.
As a film student,
it was a long time ago.
You should be using better equipment than
exactly. And I was really confused, and I was like, are you serious? And he was like, yeah, I want to send it to somebody. And I was like, no. I mean, I don't want to do that. And he's like, okay. And then we left.
So if we flip the situation to Louis, so this would be more like if you were same situation, but that guy was your boss.
Yeah.
And so maybe you felt a bigger pressure. Still could say no. You're an adult. You're your own woman.
Yeah.
But maybe you'd feel, I better say yes because I don't want to
not
get fired
work. Yeah.
Or not get hired the next job.
Yeah.
So it's fucked up. It's weird for sure. More than anything, I think it's creepy and weird.
Yeah.
But does that guy who asked you to film with the BlackBerry, does he deserve getting fired and having
all the shows canceled?
All the shows canceled, the entire public demeaning him, his family finding out he's a creep. Does he deserve all that for being a weirdo? I don't think so. I personally don't think so.
Yeah, I try to think about where the person is coming from, and a lot of people that become famous because they're strange have really dark issues.
Yeah, he's a fucked up dude.
He's a fucking... You're not surprised that he's fucked up. His comedy is fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm not excusing any of the behavior.
Listen, I've gone on seekingarrangements.com and pretended to be a sugar daddy to try and bang women.
Yeah.
There. It's out there.
Yeah.
I'm putting it out there now.
People do... we all do creepy things.
People do weird shit.
Yep. And so, needless to say... there's a fetish going on out there that nobody's really populated until he came around with it.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. What do you got coming up that you want to plug? You're going to be out.
Well, this isn't coming out for a few
2
weeks,
weeks,
right?
Yeah.
So I might just look at arimannis.com for my upcoming dates. I might be going to Europe and doing a tour over there in London. I don't know if you have any audience there.
Ooh, yeah.
But performing in London, Sweden, Ireland, Scotland, Amsterdam.
With somebody?
With Theo Vaughn.
Oh, shit.
So I think
that would be amazing.
There's still some tickets left for all those. And yeah, it'll just be me and Theo.
Yeah.
And we'll probably find a local opener at each city.
Me and Rachel just did that tour, and it was so awesome.
Yeah.
We did, similar cities.
Yeah.
Just ourselves, though. That was fun.
Yeah, no, I went there once when I was a little kid with my family, but I would be stoked to go back.
Yeah, it'll be nice to tour. It's nice. Like, I'm going on my first tour later this year that I won't have to produce, and I can't fucking wait. I can't wait to just show up and perform. Like, I can't wait until that day where I can just show up and perform and not have to do everything
Maybe once
myself.
This wedding special comes out.
Right?
What's it called?
I was supposed to get married today.
I was supposed to get married today.
I thought I would make it very blatant in the title what was happening.
I like that.
So, where can everybody find you on social?
Just my name, Ari Mannis, ARIMANNIS. On everything.
Sweet. And go see his tour. I'm at NPH Comedy or at Future Role Model on Instagram or at Role Model Pod on Twitter. Any closing remarks?
God bless you all. God bless everyone listening. God bless Paul for having us sit through this for 2 hours of this podcast.
I know.
Today.
Right? The longest.
I bet he wants to shoot himself in the head right now.
Paul's fucking dying. That's got to be the best last remarks I've ever gotten. Peace.